Let me just start this off with, hi, hello. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. It's been a while. I think it's been like a month since I posted my last video. Anyway, I'm Alex, Twitch streamer by night, body pusher by day. And no, I will not be giving context for that. I was in a MrBEAST video, which is crazy to say, just in and of itself. And then let me also toss in that I was not only in a regular MrBEAST video, like last person to leave the circle, I was in MrBEAST Squid Game recreation video. Spoiler alert, I got out on the first game. But that's not the point. The point is, I had fun. I had an awesome time. I got to meet some really cool people, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. But I wanted to start it off by showing you guys where you can find me in the video. Because, let's be honest, there's 456 people, and they couldn't put the camera on each and every one of them, despite the fact that that camera sat on my face for like 10 minutes. I swear to God. But either way, I have these pictures here that I vigorously went through and tried to find pictures of me, like good screenshots of me in the video, and here they are. So, before we get started into the actual MrBEAST Squid Game video itself, let me direct your attention to his thumbnail, where you can kind of see some of the faces for 456 people. One of the people in the front of that video thumbnail is me. Like, right, that circle with the arrow? Yeah, that's me, right there. Oh, I should preface this. I do not care that my face is in this video. Yes, I am a faceless content creator, but that is for reasons that are different to this. I am okay with my face being out there. I just don't want to see it. That's the difference. So, like, this is completely fine. Obviously, I did this myself. But yeah, anyway, I'm in the thumbnail. Da-da-da. And then let me also direct your attention to MrBEAST's Instagram posts. You see right above his head, that person that's struggling? Hi, I'm the struggling person. I'm exactly a foot shorter than Jimmy Donaldson, who stands at 6'3", apparently. So yeah, I was struggling to be seen over him. But hey, it worked. You can see me. I'm visible. So the video starts, he goes through his, basic, instructions of the game, in case you didn't watch Squid Game, which I can say, what kind of rock are you living under? And why have I not seen you before? Because I'm living under that exact same rock. I've only watched one episode. He goes through his whole shtick. He goes through his whole spiel. And for a long time, you cannot see me in the photos, in the videos, at all. It takes quite a while before I'm actually visible in shot, and that is the dumbest shot ever, but it is when Carl is talking to 177 and pointing out that 177 is shaking. If you look, I have it circled right past 157's shoulder. That forehead right there is mine, and I'm able to notice because of my freaking hairline that yep, that's me. Also, like, position placement stuff. This happened like a few weeks ago. I remember all of this, but either way, did that. That's shot number 1 of my face, kind of. Shot number 2 doesn't come for quite some time. Yeah, basically, there's 8 minutes left on the clock, and as you can see, I didn't make it that far from the back of the line. This is because I was playing it generally very safe. I was trying my best not to get out in the first few minutes of the game. I lasted fairly long, actually, surprisingly. But, not long enough, as I didn't win, or get past this game. But after that, you can see, like, I make a little bit of progress in the next screenshot. I have no idea what time this was on. But yeah, I made a tiny bit of progress there. Stepped up, like, maybe if that's 5 more steps. I think I was feeling a little bit daring, if I may say so. And then 6 minutes on the clock. I've made a lot more progress, I think, from the looks of things. It's really hard to tell from that angle, but I can see myself. I'm there. I know where I am. Jimmy posted a different angle of the next shot on Twitter, and I scoured that post for a good hour trying to find the back of my head, and then proceeded to realize that I was actually still behind where that camera was facing. So you can see in the bottom right, I've circled myself. Yeah, that's still about as far as I've made it. Around this time, people are starting to run around, trying to get you hyped up, trying to get you to panic and be like, you need to run. And I'm like, I'm having anxiety attack number 7. Please stop. Please, for the love of all things good and holy, knock it off. I got a really good shot of me with the drone. And it is the only good shot of me I found in this video. the singular best shot is me standing directly behind Nolan. And this is where the camera sat on me for what felt like 10 minutes, and it was probably like 2 seconds. Basically what happened is, after this shot, he calls green light, we move, he calls red light, I stop on a dime, and I notice out of the corner of my eye, Nolan swing the camera towards me. I'm going to go into further explanation on that later, so I'm not divulging from this. But yeah, 40 seconds on the clock. This is actually what shocked me, because I could have sworn I got out at like past the 1.5 minute mark. But apparently I got out somewhere between 40 seconds and the last 15. I don't know how, but yeah, because in this picture here, you can see that I'm actually still standing up. And there's 40 seconds on the clock. You can't see that part in the picture, but if you watch the video and you happen to notice me, you'll know that that's at the 40-second mark. There's already a bunch of people over on the other side of the line, and people are still running past me saying, you need to start running. And I'm just sitting there like, I need to cry. And then finally, the last shot, there's like maybe 7 seconds left on the clock, I think it was, but I didn't catch the number. I'm sitting, I'm down, I'm out, I got squibbed, I'm out, done. Those are all the times that I've noticed so far that I'm in the video. Now that you guys have a general idea of what I look like, which is terrifying because I don't know how many of you guys are going to actually see this video, you guys might be able to spot me in a different spot. Who knows? There were some spots where I didn't take a screenshot because there was like little, like maybe 2 centimeters of progress made on screen, and I was like, I'm not going to bother with that. But I mean, who knows? You might spot me somewhere else in the video and be like, hey, that's Alex, you know? But I couldn't spot myself anywhere else. I ran over this thing at like 0.25 speed to try and find myself, and it was like so hard. And now we are going to go into the experience of working in a MrBEAST video. So recording red light, green light took place over 2 days because we had some tech issues right at the start of filming. But we had to be on set at like 7 o'clock that day, so I still had time to do some pretty epic stuff, like talk to Carl Jacobs and hug Carl Jacobs. Prefacing with that to keep you interested as I go into the explanation. So we get on set and we get breakfast. They brought food trucks in. Food was technically already paid for, so we just went, we ordered, we got our food. It was really cool. It was actually like being on a set on a film. It was dope. And then at one point we noticed this like little crowd gathering, and my one friend Bailey, number 51, she was like, man, I really want to get a hug from Carl, but she was too nervous to ask. So our other friend Anthony went over and asked for her. So I walked over with her, and while I was standing there watching her hug Carl, I went, you know what, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, so I'm just going to, get this hug now. To get the hug now and, be able to say that I did that. So, exciting stuff that happened on episode 1 was about that. My favorite thing was the squibs. The squibs were little like oil packets, I guess is what they were. It smelled awful when it exploded, let me tell you. But it was strapped to our chest. We had it sitting on our shirt, and dealing with that thing, it honestly felt like we were handling an actual explosive, because we had no idea when that thing was going to go off. So we're like, we can't sit, we can't move, we do that. We were just too scared. We didn't want to move at all. But then they came in and they were like, hey, we're having some technical difficulties. We're going to bump recording back to tomorrow. and, you know, you all come back tomorrow, we'll do the whole again. So we come back in tomorrow. We're now on day 2. But we get on set day 2. We get into our uniforms. And my friends and I were going to meet up at the food truck area to get food. But by the time I got out, they were gone. I didn't know where they were. And we noticed a very, very tall, fluffy-haired man standing next to Carl Jacobs talking to someone. And we're like, that's Ranboo. that's Ranboo. And we kind of hemmed and hawed over it for a while before we just decided, you know what, screw it. We're gonna walk over, we're gonna try talking to them. So we did, and we talked to Carl and Ranboo for 10 minutes. It was bloody wonderful, actually. There was a really good conversation. We talked about a bunch of stuff. I wished him a happy birthday, asked him how the UK was, all that stuff, because I missed his birthday stream. I was at work, so I told him like happy late birthday and all this stuff. And then he noticed my number. I'm number 16 in the video, even though you can't see it. I'm number 16. And he got really excited about that, and I, in my moment of sheer stupidity, did not realize why until someone pointed out to me that is his Twitch leak number. And I was like, oh yeah. Still didn't know what was going on, because I could barely hear her say Twitch leak. I thought she said Twitch link, and I'm like, there is no 16 in Ranboo's Twitch link. But okay, go off, I guess. So then someone finds a pen. I don't know where they found this pen, but they found a pen and they brought it, and Carl and Ranboo were signing jackets. And somewhere around this point, I had ended up standing next to Ranboo, like nearest to Ranboo. Don't know how this circle moved around, but I didn't get anything signed by Carl, but I do have this picture of my friend's Beast Buck, which is what they gave us for currency for food, that Carl and Ranboo both signed. However, I did have my jacket, and I was like on a whim thinking with my hand in my sleeve, like I'm about to ask him to sign my jacket. Should I get this signed or should I figure something else out? As I'm contemplating this, he turns to me, looks at my sleeve, looks at me, and then back at my sleeve as if expecting me to ask him for a signature, and all I go is, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, it's fine. And he still had the pen in his hand. So he signed my jacket. I not only got to talk to Ranboo, I also got to hug the child. He's a child. So basically, this is how this happened. Word for goddamn word. This is how this happened. The girl who actually told me that I was his Twitch leak number, I heard her say behind me, I want to ask him for a hug, but I'm too scared. So I was like, no big deal, I'll ask for you. And she got a hug, and I jokingly told the person beside me, like, I'm gonna ask for everyone else to get a hug and then like not ask for me. And I got heard by none other than Ranboo himself, who went, oh, did you want a hug? And I this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life, and that is next to any of the musicals that I did as a child. But I stumbled over my words, said something, and then went, hang on, walked to be directly in front of him, and looked directly up at his face and went, you're fucking tall. And like, that was not supposed to be said out loud, and I didn't realize it was said out loud until everyone started laughing at me. And then I was like, oh yeah, I said that out loud. And then I got the hug, which was really nice. But I forgot to mention that whilst talking to Carl and Ranboo at the start, I told Ranboo that my one friend who knew that I was coming guessed that he was going to be here. And that I told her that he's shorter in person. Because when I saw him across the giant arena, he looked a lot shorter in person. He just kind of laughed at that. As I'm standing here, my 5'3" ass across the way. I'm still like maybe 3 feet away from him when I say this, being like, yeah, you're shorter in person. And then I walk up in front of him and go, Dan, you're tall. But that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life. And this is something that I hope to God he never remembers, and I hope to God he never sees this video, because if he does, he'll remember it. But it's the thing that happened, and I wanted to tell you guys about it because I think, for one, it's hilariously embarrassing, and I want to share that with you guys. Bailey asked if he liked UK food better than US food. He went, hell no. He didn't actually say that. He just went, no, US food is better. That's about all I can remember, really. It's slowly starting to fade, unfortunately. But going into the context of the jacket. So, the jacket. They didn't let me keep anything aside from the MrBEAST bucks that I left in my hotel room and the piece of paper that they gave us with the rules. I don't have the jacket with the R that Rainbow wrote on it, on its sleeve. I don't have that because of when we were leaving. I'm guessing they did this because of the NDA, but I don't know. They had us take all of our clothes, put them in a bag, and then just, set them down. I'm just really upset that I didn't get to keep anything physical with Rainbow's signature on it, but I do have this picture. That is good enough for me unless they say I get to get the jacket. But now, into the filming process, somewhat. So, we did 3 or 4 different thumbnails and 3 or 4 different intros. Recording, we were given 30 minutes on the clock. You guys know what happens in the game. That's what happened in recording. There were no cuts, none of that stuff. The shoes. The only complaint that I have about this entire video, the shoes. They were nice shoes. They looked really nice, right? Nice white shoes. They were fucking painful. They were heavy, and there was no padding between your foot and the ground. So it was like being barefoot on a rock floor. Not fun. That was a dirt floor, but it was like packed dirt or sand underneath, and it hurt to stand on that for such a long period of time. I wanted to talk about the squibs. The squibs, the little oil packets that were tiny explosives. I wanted to tell you what our representative told us, because they had paramedics on set. They legally have to have paramedics on set. So they were telling the paramedics about these squibs, and they were like, this is almost verbatim to what Connor, our representative, said. Our representative said that they told the paramedics, the paramedics said, you're going to have a what strapped to their chest? And this is why I call a squib a small explosive, is because he literally said, we are going to have a small explosive strapped to their chest. And that I love saying that I had a little explosive strapped to my stomach, essentially. My chest was too high. It was really funny. For confidentiality purposes, so no one spoiled the video before it was out, we were not allowed to have our phones on set. So, we couldn't get any pictures with anyone. And I couldn't get a picture of my jacket. That's why I couldn't get a picture of the R on my jacket sleeve. Oh, I mentioned earlier the camera. And Nolan, the camera guy. He's more than just the camera guy, I understand. But in this context, he's Nolan, the camera guy. Nolan, the camera guy, for some reason, at least it felt like it to me, loved to put the camera on me. Now, while I did say that I am comfortable with having my face on camera, it doesn't mean that I'm comfortable in front of a camera. That's one of the reasons why I'm not with the camera, one of many. Which is a dumb idea to go and be in a video with a bunch of freaking cameras everywhere. But it was I thought it would be a fun experience. So I was like, you know what, how bad can it be? At 456 people, no one's gonna put the camera on me. I was wrong. Very. And he put the camera on me maybe 3-4 times, and each and every time I was just sitting there boy, if you don't move that camera right now, I'm going to burst into tears. Afterwards, after I was out, which I swear I don't think I was moving, But who knows? I could have been coming to a stop as he finished the light. I can't remember. I really want to try and reach out to Jimmy before he deletes the footage and see if I can spot myself on camera, just so that I can know that if my getting out was on accident. Either way, I'm okay with that. After we got out, we got changed out of our jackets. We had to turn our jackets in, which is very unfortunate. And then we got sent to the hotel. So me and my band of merry bandits, we all got together to just kind of chill and celebrate, the victory of 278 and number 51, Reese and Bailey, respectively, who made it past red light, green light, which we were very proud of this. And we decided to watch Squid Game together as like a group. So we watched episode 1 and we made up this little game where we tried to find our number at the beginning of red light, green light, and then tried to see if we died during red light, green light. Fun fact, the number that I was, which was number 16, did not die in red light, green light. He lived. Surprisingly enough, I did not live up to the name. The number, but we had it was a fun little party. We were up until 2 a.m. and I had to get up at 5 for a flight at 7 o'clock. That was fun. But then we went home. We all went to our respective spots, essentially. And for a while, the whole thing of it was, it still feels like a fever dream now. To say that I was in a MrBEAST video, the fact that I'm recording this video is just insane enough that I almost feel like I'm just making it up. Just calling them and telling them. I got to hug Carl Jacobs. I got to hug Ranboo and talk with them. I stood within a fairly close proximity. I didn't actually get to talk to Jimmy, MrBEAST, but I stood near MrBEAST. Quite a few people on the MrBEAST team walked directly past me or spoke with me and stuff before filming or after filming, which is something that not a lot of people think they can say. That's something that I didn't think I would say. All I did was buy a t-shirt. I bought a t-shirt, literally. Okay, gonna divulge one more time. This is my last divergence from the conversation. MrBEAST tweeted out about the t-shirts and the hoodies. He said, we're gonna pick 100 people, whoever buys, 100 people out of whoever buys this hoodie. And I'm like, okay. And I'm talking it over with my friends, and I'm talking it over with Plan N, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna buy the t-shirt. I have the t-shirt. It came. It is here. And I think it wasn't even 3 days later. I was at work, and I clocked out of work, and I opened my phone to text messages from this MrBEAST rep, who's like, hey, you got in. And it just kind of started this entire ball of what the fuck. And it's still rolling. The ball is still rolling. I'm still reeling on the fact that this has been what my year's been like so far. I was in a MrBEAST video. What is this? Anyway, I've gone on and rambled far too long, and it's time to let you all leave. If you haven't seen the MrBEAST Squid Game video, I'm sorry for the spoilers, but you can go check it out at MrBEAST YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to MrBEAST and you subscribe within 7 days of the release of this video, you have the chance of winning $10,000. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't already seen the MrBEAST Squid Game video, I highly recommend you go and do that. And also subscribe to MrBEAST, because he makes cool videos all the time, and he gives out a lot of money all the time. And he said in one video that he picks a random subscriber to be in his videos sometimes. So it may be you. Who knows? You might be the next person to be like, I was in a MrBEAST video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. This has been one hell of a ride, and I cannot wait to see where we go next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Bye-bye.